Thank you. Next ideas.
Make sure you hunt down and find, God damn it, terrible fucking names. Garcia. Yeah. I didn't even recognize her freaking. She was
Civies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just makeup all done up and everything. I was like,
We've probably never seen her. I've never seen her.
yeah, I haven't either. Like, she's floating around. She's got like this full black getup or whatever. But
Yeah, do you see your motley crew of
murder in my eyes. For the. Yeah. So I'm thinking it'll be easier, like a straight shot. The first
I think I'd rather. You know what? I think I want you to sit over there. That way.
Sir.
Why don't you just sit right behind?
I could, but I have. So I'm gonna. So when they do the salute, they're gonna be on the opposite side of the mix. So and then.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The ceremony will begin in 3 minutes. Please silence all cell phones. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the New Mexico Military Institute Superintendent, Major General Retired Jerry W. Grizzle, and the Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Ryan L. Eisenhower, welcome to the New Mexico Military Institute Spring 2023 Commissioning Ceremony. We'd like to take an opportunity to welcome Major General Retired Edward Correa Jr., Colonel Russell Henry, Command Sergeant Major Retired Edward Correa III, Sergeant Major Robbie Sierra, New Mexico Military Institute's Board of Regents, Mr. Harold Edmondson, Mr. Phelps Anderson, Miss Maria Montoya, and New Mexico Military Institute staff, Colonel Thomas Tate, Colonel David West, Colonel Orlando Griego, Colonel Deanna Kernut, and we want to extend a special welcome to family members and friends who have come to join us on this very special day. At this time, please stand for the arrival of the official party, playing of the national anthem, and the invocation given by Cadet Ham. Major General Jerry Grizzle, New Mexico Military Institute President and Superintendent, Colonel Daniel Hughes, Commander of the 93rd Troop Command, and Lieutenant Colonel Brian Eisenhower, Professor of Military Science.
Let us pray. Most wise and holy God, as we gather here on this occasion, we recall your goodness in giving us this nation, its constitution, its leaders, and the men and women who defend our freedoms and exemplify our responsibilities. As we celebrate the commissioning and graduation for this class, we thank you for these last 2 years of working towards this day. For our pride in each other's work and our patience with its challenges, we commit them all to you, asking that you would be gracious beyond what we, any of us, deserve. Amen.
Please be seated. Today we honor the New Mexico Military Institute's Army Reserve Officer Training Corps Class of 2023 commissionees. It is a privilege for the staff, faculty, and the Department of Military Science to commission 19 new second lieutenants. Since the inception of ROTC at NIMI, the Institute has commissioned over 3,000 men and women as second lieutenants. Officers from this institute have fought for for freedom in every American war since World War I in defense of American freedom. Some alumni have made the ultimate sacrifice. History is filled with military officers from the Institute, which include 29 flag and general officers. This Institute's rich heritage and its legacy will continue in part on the shoulders of these new Army officers that we commission today. We are honored today to have as our guest speaker Colonel Daniel Hughes, Commander for the 93rd Troop Command and G3 for the New Mexico Army National Guard. Colonel Hughes has lived a life of service. He commissioned from the New Mexico Military Institute in 1994 and retired after 20 years on the Albuquerque Police Force. With multiple deployments and positions to his credit, some of the notable positions he has held in the Army are Avenger Platoon Leader, Rifle Company Commander, Infantry Battalion Commander, and his current position, the Commander for the 93rd Troop Command. He has been married to his wife Lorena for 24 years, and they share 2 children who are both students at the University of New Mexico. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Daniel Hughes.
Good afternoon. I couldn't have been more thrilled when I was asked to come and make some remarks today. And I was reflecting on my time here at NIMI, and it occurred to me that I commissioned on May the 13th in this very room 29 years ago to the day. So, remarkable kind of turnabout how life is, so I'm happy to be here. My rat year at NIMI, the regimental sergeant major was a mountain of a man. His name was Andrew Tingwall. Andy was a legendary figure on post, about 6 feet tall, built like an NFL linebacker, and charismatic. Andy was a Marine in the reserves, and he played football for the Broncos. That's the NIMI Broncos, not the Denver Broncos. He was as tough as they come, but not at all mean. He had rare presence and a leader quality that stood out even among the outstanding young men and women that we went to school with. Andy was first among the many upperclassmen that I admired my freshman year of college. After I commissioned and graduated from junior college, I attended UNM to finish pursuing my degree. My twin brother, identical twin brother, moved out to Albuquerque to room with me. Shortly after arriving in Albuquerque, my brother reported to his new Marine Corps Reserve Unit, Delta Company, 4th Reconnaissance Battalion. Well, as you can imagine, it wasn't long before I was drinking buddies with all my brother's teammates in his reconnaissance team. And it was no surprise to me to learn at that time that one of the NCOs that these young Marines respected and admired the most was my old Corps Sergeant Major, Andy Tingwall. Shortly after starting the police academy in Santa Fe, I discovered that Andy was an instructor at the academy. He was also a member of the state police SWAT team. In that role, I found him to be among the best of examples to emulate. Andy was still a dynamic leader and an inspiring role model. He had not changed much, but like whiskey, seemed to be getting better with age. I kept tabs on Andy through the next decade. He was growing legendary status through his incredible exploits and courageous acts in the field. Later, I became a SWAT officer at the Albuquerque Police Department, and Andy moved on to the State Police Air Support Unit, where he was a helicopter pilot. On June 11th, 2009, now 36 years old, Andy was called to rescue an injured hiker high in the mountains of northern New Mexico. The young woman was alone and badly hurt, and weather was closing in. Andy attempted to rescue the hiker despite fatigue from 3 previous flights that same day and the obvious danger of flying into high terrain with closing weather. Andy knew the perils of a high-altitude rescue in an underpowered helicopter, and he knew the potentially fatal consequences of any slip or misjudged margin of error. It was a decision that many would have made differently. But Andy went to rescue that young woman because he knew that a ground rescue was not possible. And if he did not go, she was not likely to survive the harsh conditions that were arriving with the storm. It was a heroic move. And anybody who knew Andy would have expected him to do just that. Andy accepted the dangers of rescuing that hiker because he placed more value on her life than on his own safety. Andy succeeded in landing his helicopter and picking up the patient. But he and the hiker were both killed when his helicopter struck the side of a mountain between Pecos and Taos shortly after takeoff. His last words were, "Hold on," emblematic of his commitment to the safety and welfare of his 2 passengers, one of whom was a fellow police officer who survived the crash and remarkably walked down the mountain despite serious injuries. I believe he had a broken back. Andy's death, of course, was crushing to the law enforcement community and to the many Marines whose lives he had touched, but nothing compared to his family, in particular his wife, a dispatcher with the state police, who was on duty when he crashed, and she heard Andy utter his final words over the police radio. Andy was a hero. He was not an ordinary man thrust into extraordinary circumstances, like so many who have never been tested imagine a hero to be. Nor was he a victim of some sinister, monolithic power, as so many who sit on the sidelines claim, while they search for excuses for their own lack of courage. Andy was a hero because he chose to be one, long before the day he gave his life to another. He committed himself to that road long before even I met him, when we were both still in our teens. There is a lot of confusion in our country about what a hero is. Some don't believe in heroes. Many cynically believe that all the hero stories you hear are myths made by powerful men to manipulate you. Others believe that heroes are ordinary people doing ordinary things during a pandemic. Some people believe that narcissistic millionaire athletes and Hollywood actors are heroes. I often hear celebrities who espouse uninformed policy positions and ignorant political views described as heroes. They are not. A hero is a person who fills his heart with love for his comrades, for the wounded and the helpless, and for his country. A hero is an extraordinary person at the crossroads with extraordinary circumstances. And a hero is not born that way. A hero is made from hard work, dedication, and commitment. Now, here on the eve of a global conflict, our country will need new heroes. You will serve alongside some of them in the years to come. Some of them, you may find, are sitting with you here in this auditorium. Congratulations on your immense accomplishment, and God bless you.
Colonel Hughes, sir, thank you for your words of advice and wisdom to us on this important day. Please accept this token of our appreciation, a copy of the U.S. Constitution and other writings important to the United States history, signed by all current senior ROTC cadets.
Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to please refer to your programs as we recognize the commissionees by name. Robert Henry will continue his education at Norwich University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Jalen Pearl will continue his education at Syracuse University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Michael Alcariza, distinguished military student, will continue his education at Norwich University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Slate Anderton, distinguished military student, will continue his education at Norwich University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Santiago Carbajal, distinguished military student, will continue his education at Syracuse University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Garrett Cheney, distinguished military student, will continue his education at Syracuse University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Jesse Claney will continue his education at Montana State University and be assigned to the Montana National Guard. Edward Correa, distinguished military student, will continue his education at the University of Hawaii and be assigned to the Hawaii National Guard. Kylie DeLees will continue her education at Norwich University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. John Duran will continue his education at the University of North Georgia and be assigned to the Georgia National Guard. Julian Ham will continue his education at Grand Canyon University and be assigned to the Arizona National Guard. Noah Harris will continue his education at Norwich University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Joseph Larson, distinguished military student, will continue his education at Norwich University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Josue Martinez will continue his education at Norwich University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Astrid Melendez, distinguished military student, will continue her education at Syracuse University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Josue Melgar will continue his education at Syracuse University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Renan Menezes will continue his education at Syracuse University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Brandon Sierra will continue his education at Norwich University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Dalton Washam will continue his education at the New Mexico State University and be assigned to the New Mexico National Guard. The following cadets will commission later this summer following cadet summer training. Andrew Bruning will continue his education at the University of Alaska and be assigned to the Alaska National Guard. Edward Castillo will continue his education at Norwich University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Alexander Warnock will continue his education at Syracuse and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. Caleb Weir will continue his education at Syracuse University and be assigned to the Vermont National Guard. That's a lot. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the oath of office. Robert Henry will receive his oath of office from his father, Colonel Russell Henry. Jalen Pearl will receive his oath of office from his father, Major Retired John Pearl. The remaining cadets will now receive their oath of office from Lieutenant Colonel Eisenhower. Please be seated. One of the most memorable experiences of newly commissioned officers is having their gold bars pinned on by family and friends, followed by the first salute from an enlisted member. Tradition dictates that upon receipt of the very first salute, the new lieutenant presents the enlisted soldier that saluted them with a silver dollar. Although the precise origins of this tradition are unclear, it stems from the time-honored customs of the British Army. By American tradition, the silver dollar is the only coin given in exchange for the first salute. This coin represents the deep-felt gratitude for a non-commissioned officer's mentorship and training to a lieutenant before taking their place as a commissioned leader of character and a member of the profession of arms. The salute also represents formal recognition by the soldier of the transition from cadet to officer. The silver dollar signifies the officer's acceptance of their new responsibility. Our new officers will now be pinned with their second lieutenant bars by family and friends and also receive their first salute from an enlisted member of the military. At this time, those participating in the bar pinning ceremony and first salute, please come to the front of the auditorium as your lieutenant steps forward. Please join them on stage. For those wishing to take pictures, you are more than welcome to come forward. Second Lieutenant Henry's bars will be affixed and pinned by his father, Colonel Russell Henry, and mother, Desiree Henry. He will receive his first salute from his grandfather, Senior Master Sergeant Retired Douglas Henry. Second Lieutenant Pearl's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother, Master Sergeant Retired Jeanette Pearl. He will receive his first salute from his brother, Staff Sergeant Gerald Pearl. Second Lieutenant Alcariza's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother, Melinda Alcariza, and girlfriend, Shelby Schaff. He will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Retired, Michael Alcariza. Second Lieutenant Anderton's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother and father, Jody and Shannon Anderton. He will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Gerald Diaz. Second Lieutenant Carbajal's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother and father, Perla and Leo Gutierrez, and friend Tibor Klar. He will receive his first salute from Staff Sergeant Kevin Stinger. Second Lieutenant Cheney's bars will be affixed and pinned by his grandfather, Chief Warrant Officer 4, retired John Goodrich, and sister, Mary Cheney. He will receive his first salute from his father, Sergeant First Class retired Anthony Cheney. Second Lieutenant Claney's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother and father, Natalia and Michael Claney. He will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Gerald Diaz. Second Lieutenant Correa's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother, Lynn Correa, and his grandfather, Major General Retired Edward Correa, Jr. He will receive his first salute from his father, Command Sergeant Major Retired Edward Correa III. Second Lieutenant DeLise's bars will be affixed and pinned by her mother and father, Janelle and Sergeant First Class Carlos DeLise. She will receive her first salute from her father, Sergeant First Class DeLise. Second Lieutenant Duran's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother and father, Rosie and Steve Duran. He will receive his first salute from Staff Sergeant Retired Adam Villegas. Second Lieutenant Hams Bars. Second Lieutenant Ham's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother, Minevieve Ham. He will receive his first salute from Chief Warrant Officer 3, Cleo Ham. Second Lieutenant Harris's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother and father, Annetta and Joe Harris. He will receive his first salute from Sergeant First Class Jason France. Second Lieutenant Larson's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother and father, Laura Larson, and Lieutenant Commander Retired James Larson. He will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Diaz. Second Lieutenant Martinez's bars will be affixed and pinned by his father Emilio Martinez and mentor Dr. Mark Ryan. He will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Diaz. Second Lieutenant Melendez's bars will be affixed and pinned by her mother and father, Daisy Mayorka, and Sergeant First Class retired Leonardo Melendez. She will receive her first salute from Sergeant First Class Melendez. Second Lieutenant Melgar's bars will be affixed and pinned by mother and father Alicia and Marcos Melgar and mentor Dr. Mark Ryan. He will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Diaz. Second Lieutenant Menezes' bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother, Christiane Menezes, and father, Flavio Magalas, and brother, Lucas Menezes Magalas. He will receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Jackson. Second Lieutenant Sierra's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother and father, Sergeant Major Robbie Sierra, and Mother Master Sergeant Lisa Preston. He will receive his first salute from his father, Sergeant Major Robbie Sierra. Second Lieutenant Washam's bars will be affixed and pinned by his mother and father, Charla and Sergeant Retired Michael Washam. He will receive his first salute from his father, Sergeant Retired Washam. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in one last round of applause for our newest second lieutenants. All right, ladies and gentlemen, remain standing for the benediction by Second Lieutenant Ham and the playing of the Army song.
Father, we look forward to great things from this class of second lieutenants. We expect nothing less than the best as we proceed. Under your umbrella, with the direction our careers have taken, please shine your light upon us as we go out to do our best for you, for our country, and for the Army. Bless us in our new endeavors. In your name, amen.
March along, sing a song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proud we proclaim.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the commissioning ceremony. Please join us at the JRT for a reception.